If you stick with the game plan, I'm just going to put my game on Facebook. I'm going to get all the users I want. I don't need to think about anything else. It'll be fine. That's not a game plan. Personally, I don't think that's in your own best interest. And so today, hopefully, we can talk a little bit more about what you should do. So it's the same old story, right? You make a game, some magic happens, and then you make some money. Right? And yet, it's the middle part that's the hard part. And so, just like the underwear gnomes, hopefully that translates to this side of the pond. We're here to talk about the middle part, right? So let's focus on the magic, what happens after you make your game. But first, let's talk about building social games. There'll be a lot of talks later about games as a service, but it bears repeating that you're not building a product, you're building a service. You're building something that on day one the work starts, as opposed to traditional casual games where you compile a game, put it on store shelves or put it up on a download server and you're done. In this case, you hit publish, you put your game out there, and you got to make sure it stays live. You got to make sure that you have all the security constraints in place. There's a lot of work involved in order to build a game that acts as a service. So you got to have the right people, right infrastructure. You better have enough money if you're going to post all those servers. The other thing to highlight is item types, and what do I mean by that? A lot of people think, hey, make a game, put a couple items in it, that's it, I don't need to worry about it. But what we'll see later on is that you're going to need a lot of flexibility in the types of items that you have that you build in order to fully maximize the opportunity when it comes to social games. Gameplay length is another one. Again, going back to the analogy of games as media, if you look at Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, huge budget, $1 billion in revenue, very quickly. That's a very movie-like situation, right? Where they spend a lot of money, people are sitting down, they want to have a movie-like experience, play for a couple hours, get up off the couch, and out they go. Casual games are traditionally thought of as more like a TV experience, 15 minutes, half an hour, things along those lines. I think it's fair to say that the majority of the social games out there have more of a couple-minute experience. At least as far as the minimum required, right? You pop in for a Bejeweled Blitz, you play for a minute, and then you can leave if you want, but usually you stay and play around, and you play a little bit longer. So that gameplay length is obviously a big component. And then game design. This is, I guess, more of a personal request. As much as I want to see, Farm Wars and Mafiaville and all these other things, a trend has been in the casual industry for everyone to do an homage to everyone else. I personally like to see a little bit more innovation, if you don't mind, at least please. Come up with some good stuff, because I think ultimately that's going to lead to a healthy industry. So distribution. So a lot of people, again, going to the part of, I'm going to put my game on Facebook, that's the end of it, I don't need to worry about it, I'm going to get all my users. I think if you examine the more mature markets, especially the games industry, when it comes to distribution, when it comes to customer acquisition, you can actually break down how a game is getting its users into three